Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak in the Bag show for 12 o'clock Eastern Time, Wednesday, May 9th. Welcome, everybody. As you know, this show has, ups and downs in terms of the jokes, the technical aspects, in terms of the picks. All of those things go up and down and up and down and up and down. And I'm happy to report, you might know what I'm about to get at, Jim, that the picks part of this show, as far as you and I are concerned right now, in a little bit of an up.
A little bit of an up.
Maybe even more than a little bit of an up right now, Jim.
More than a little bit of an up. I have a question, though. As we don't break this down before the show. Did you hit on the Detroit Tigers reverse run line?
I can't remember. Let's check the score. Let's see. Oh, well, what do you know? 7-4. Yes, it did. Detroit Tigers reverse run line. Very, very nice. Very, very nice.
Was that plus 3?
Well, the minus 1.5 was plus 310. I took a -1, so it wound up being plus 250. I actually wound up, I didn't need that one, though, to be positive. I was actually up about 5 units yesterday. That one was only 2.5 of the units. So, the ups and downs will come. That's the way baseball goes. A lot of times, sometimes, like I said, I was like, this one, it just feels like Texas is too big of a favorite, and that if Detroit wins, they probably are, they're either going to lose by 8 or win by a couple, and so I had a good call on that one. You had a winning day as well. I'm now into positive digits. A few days ago, I was in negative digits, and Jimmy the Bag also had a winning day yesterday. MLB now up into the double digits positively in MLB.
Fuck
very,
yeah,
very
man.
nice.
And also, I remember there was a time in NHL where, as soon as I said it, I actually had one bad day, but then I really got on a roll. But I said it to my guys, the guys that I kept with every day, Max Smart and Twatty Latte. I was like, I feel like I'm seeing things clearly right now, and I feel that way about MLB. I think we're going to continue this roll. I got some picks I love.
Yep.
And I already locked in a line this morning in NBA. I'm excited.
Very, very, very nice. Yes, absolutely. So once again, the ups and downs will come, though. The downs will come with the picks. Also with the jokes and the entertainment value. Sometimes they'll be up. Well, usually it's pretty up, but sometimes it's down. Yesterday we had no technical issues. In today's show, we probably won't have any technical issues, but technical issues will come as well, right, Jim?
They will come. There will be some losing days.
There will be.
We just need more winning days than losing days, and that's what we're providing right now, and it feels good.
Yeah, but can't deny that. Absolutely cannot deny that. Huge shout out to all the people in the comments section who give us so much great information and just so many things to think about. Every day, every game, every topic that we talk about. The NBA continues to be tough. Once again, there's no NHL today, and once again, we are going to be doing just a little Twitter thing. And once again, we are continuing our Bet Mania thing. If you'd like to sign up with Bet Mania, please use the link in the description box of this video so that they know that you saw about Bet Mania in this show. We'll get to the Twitter segment a little bit later. And of course, we have a lot of day games in MLB. Jimmy the Bag, as I said, I'm being pretty cautious and circumspect when it comes to my MLB analysis. And there's 7 day games. I was only able to analyze the 7 day games as of right now. But of course, in the evening show, I will have analyzed the 7 night games and hopefully have some picks there. But I have no picks or opinions on any of the 7 night games. I have opinions and feeling like I'm seeing a bunch of things on the 7 day games. And how much of this MLB card did you get into, Jim?
I hammered the whole thing. I would like to do some work on the last 5 games of the card. There's some extra work. But I've got a couple plays on the night games, but a bunch of plays on the day games. I got a basketball play. I would like to give a shout out to Al Mack, who's destroying the IIHF.
Really? Very nice.
World Ice Hockey Championships. Follow him on Twitter. He's just handing out gold. And I feel like we've left some money on the table, not hammering that a little harder. But much respect. I'll keep taking that cash, getting that cash. Joe D cashed at 1K on the Golden State New Orleans under 228.5 last night. Man, I can't believe that I didn't no balls play. I like that under and no balls play, and I missed that Rockets. And the Rockets one was a tough one, but we are going to give right now a pretty sizable shout out to King Rail, who said that he liked Houston on the first quarter yesterday. They -4, 3.5 or 4. They did cover by 5, and also a very, very nice call. He said that the Pelicans will lose outright, but cover, which they did. Shout out to King Rail. Don't think I didn't notice that. Don't think I didn't look at the results. Don't think I didn't remember.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, King Rail's the truth, man. There's so many great cappers we get to work with. I expect to be up in every sport working with everybody here. So it feels good. It feels really good. I'm excited to get into today's card.
These NBA lines are tough as hell. That's why I completely passed on yesterday's card. So shout out to King Rail for having an accurate call on Houston early, and also a great call on New Orleans to get the cover, but to not get the straight up win. All right, so we do have. Let's get into MLB. I guess we can take a little bit of time to throw the record up there, Jimmy the Bag.
Love that.
Regular viewers will know that I was down in MLB, but now I'm up a unit. Could easily go back down again, and Jimmy the Bag slowly creeping up. Now all of a sudden finds himself in positive double digits, which is quite impressive. Jimmy the Bag, very nicely done. Of course, there will be ups and downs. We have 7 games on the day games on the card today. It's an interesting one. I guess I don't even know where to start. Well, let's start with the Mets game because it starts at 12:30.
Yes.
Wheeler against Romano. Feels like this is a spot where the Mets will bounce back, although the line has moved in Cincinnati's favor. I do want to check the lineups here. Always in day games, you do want to check the lineups because there can be lineup surprises. But I was thinking vaguely maybe about an under, vaguely about Mets -1, slight lean to the Mets on the second half. The Mets hit righties better. Wheeler definitely iffy right now, but I think this might be a better start for him. Romano not great, but kind of okay, and doesn't go deep. So I was thinking the Mets on the second half. What's your take on this one, Jim?
My take is the Reds. I'm riding the Reds. I think I'm ahead of the market with this young pitching staff. I like the way Romano's been throwing. I'm on the Reds full game. Maybe the first 5 is a better play, but Suarez is hitting. Schebler's hitting. They're providing a spark. If Votto gets going, all of a sudden they'll have a vaunted 2-3-4. Game time temp 76 Fahrenheit, wind blowing sideways. Mets have lost 7 of 8. Suarez doubled among his 3 hits yesterday, drove him 4 runs, 5 multi-hit games since coming off the DL. Wheeler 2-2, 5.79, 1.50 whip through 28 innings, 11 walks in those 28 innings, gave up 8 runs, 10 hits, including 2 homers in 6 innings last start versus the Rockies. I like Romano's numbers are going down. Now he's got a 4.21 ERA and a 1.38 whip. He's still walking too many batters and not striking out enough batters, but I'm fine when these young pitchers don't have a high strikeout count. I don't need them to be electric. Speaking of electric, let's give a shout out to Paxton, man. No-hitter Paxton representing British Columbia, representing Delta Secondary School.
Absolutely.
So shout out to Delta Secondary School grads and your boy Paxton.
Absolutely. I had to lean to the under on that one. That one cashed. I also had to lean to Toronto on that one. That one didn't cash. So if I had given those plays, I would have split. Yeah, that guy Paxton, as we knew from the beginning of the year, he was having some struggles, but we knew when he was at his top form, he's, an elite
And he didn't
starter.
have Zunino catching for him. Romano allowed just 1 run on 3 hits over 5 1/3 innings in that in his last start, 4-1 win over the Marlins. Yes, the Marlins are a weak group of hitters, but I just think this Reds team will slowly get more confidence with Suarez back, with Schebler hitting. Mets are hitting just 233, 693 OPS. The Reds are hitting 242, 697 OPS. That number's actually going up. And I am on the Reds full game.
Okay, you are on the Reds full game. Let me find the best line here for you. The Reds full game. It is moving again in the Reds' favor. The best line right now will be -105 at a bunch of places. So Jim's going to take Cincinnati money line -105. I was just thinking that it might be a good spot for the Mets and maybe the Mets on the second half. But what's your take on the Mets lineup? Is it not and their bullpen right now? It's not an impressive lineup and a bullpen.
Well, the bullpen looked incredible.
Yeah.
Looked absolutely incredible, and it's slowing down. My man Ross Damas, just another shout out to our man Paxton just before we move forward. First pitcher with a no-hitter and that many Ks in the game since the Ryan Express in 91, and he did it back-to-back starts. Very, very proud of a BC boy like that. Let's just take a quick look at the lineup, and I was curious because it looked like the Mets might have the best bullpen in the league. I was very curious to see if they could possibly keep that going, and I'm thankful to see that they're not. Let's just take a quick look at
the
this
lineups.
lineup.
I'm looking at I get RotoWire daily lineups. Yeah, I mean, looks like everyone's in. Bruce,
no Cespedes.
Right.
We know that he is dealing with some things. I think this is an easy lineup to pitch against Nemo, Flores, Cabrera. I mean, I know Asdrubal Cabrera is having a good season, but he should not be batting third on a team in Major League Baseball. Bruce J fourth, Adrian Gonzalez, Devin Mesoraco, who they just picked up for Harvey Conforto, Wheeler Ahmed. This is the weakest I can imagine this Mets lineup being.
And it's interesting that the total, I was thinking maybe about a shot with an over, because Romano is a guy who's, he's not lights out, but he's probably going to give you 5 serviceable innings. I'm feeling like it'd be a better start than normal for Wheeler as well. But, the total was opened at 9.5. It's now up to 10 at most places.
And that's what King Art's saying. What about the under 10 in the Mets game? Yeah, I mean, I expect Wheeler possibly to pitch better than he is. I like Romano right now better than Wheeler. And so I'm going to keep things simple. As you guys who followed me, I was up 17 units in MLB and went all the way down to 0. And I'm just going to keep things simple. Now, I do think that possibly the Reds' first 5 is the better play here. But I've already bet the full game, and I'm going to stick with the full game. Okay. Sounds good. Let me, I'm just still thinking about it. I do have a few minutes to make my decision. Let's move on to Cleveland, Milwaukee, Carrasco, and Guerra. And Carrasco, of course, had a couple of tough starts in a row, but I'm willing to bet that is not indicative of his performance going forward. I did the same thing yesterday with Bundy, and I was dead wrong on that one. Carrasco, obviously, a completely different animal than Bundy. And Guerra also coming off a bad start, but he also had been pitching well before that. I would have another lean maybe to the under on this one, and maybe a lean to Milwaukee just as this big of a home underdog. What do you think about this game? I expect Guerra to fall back to earth, come back to earth. Those first 4 games are not the pitcher that he is. That's why he didn't make the team in the beginning of the year. And I'm not sure what to make of Carrasco, but just quickly I want to give a shout out. King Rail has now joined us. We gave you a shout out off the top of the show. King, great work yesterday. His only bet right now is Philly money line, which does concern me with my action, but I just want to give you a shout out, King Rail. Great Philly work. Money line in NBA or MLB? In NBA. In NBA. Okay. But we'll get to that. Yes, I can't trust Carrasco, but I think you're probably right. I'm not going to put my money behind him with the way he's been pitching. And I just think the Indians team total over is the play, even without Encarnacion's not in the lineup. Even without Encarnacion, this is an incredible Brewers bullpen that's beaten up. Wade Miley strained his oblique 3 batters into the game, and the bullpen came up big again. Now Nabel has come off the DL. I don't know how he's going to throw in his first game back. He's going to see some time because that bullpen's being beaten up. Andrew Miller's close to returning. They need him. Although they did get 3 scoreless innings of relief, they came into yesterday's game with a 10.80 ERA in the 12 games that Miller had been down leading up to this series. Carrasco, and the Indians have only scored a total of 8 runs over its last 3 games. I do think that offense wakes up. Scotty Rock forever says Brewers money line all day. I really think that Guerra comes back to earth. And Tomor agrees, says, agree with Jimmy. Guerra is an older pitcher who started the season strong, but I don't think he's good long-term. And that's why he didn't make the team. Carrasco, 0-1 with a 10.90 ERA over his past 2 starts, as you said. Yeah. 6 runs over 5 1/3 against the Jays. And Guerra was tagged too. 5 runs on 6 hits, 4 walks, while striking out 4 over 5 innings in a loss to Pittsburgh. He had been dominant before, and I just don't think that's him. This Indians numbers are climbing. 241 now, 727 OPS. Brewers bats have been much quieter than we expected this year. 235, 686 OPS. I'm on the Indians team total over. Really? Yes. Okay. Let me find the line there. But before we find that line, Jimmy the Bag, read this. Yeah. I think I'm going to cry. Jared Schrader. This is a comment from Jared Schrader just a minute or two ago. My favorite time of the day. Love the show, Pete and Jimmy. By far, the best sports betting show out there. Jared Schrader, thank you so much. Jared Schrader, I personally love you. Thank you so much, Jared Schrader. You don't know how much that means to me. Even though I say it 10 times every show, I still think you don't know how much that means to me. Thank you so much, Jared Schrader. All right, getting back to the business at hand. Jimmy the Bag, what would you like? You would like the other I would like the Indians team total over. Isaiah's thinking over in Cleveland, Milwaukee. Kevin K saying Encarnacion's out. I'm fine with that. Melee Payless Ways also Cleveland, Milwaukee over. Over's 13-4 in Cleveland's last 17. And Kobe says don't fade Carrasco on the road. Crushing it past 3 seasons. 26-11 at home. Or I think he means on the road. 7-2 in May. Look at Al Mack. Switzerland just scored, looking like an early morning sweep for his IIHF card. And he's got Finland -2.5 also, which was Larry's pick of tomorrow. Maybe Larry's looking up Al Mack. If he is, that's the right move, Larry. Al Mack is straight fire right now. Yes.
All right,
Indians,
so I'm doing a little line chopping here. At Pinnacle, it's 4.5 plus 102. At Heritage, let me see what it is. At Heritage, it's 4.5 minus 105. All right, so we can give you a team total over 4.5 plus 102. I'll just look at Bet365 as well, just in case we can get a better line there. I'm thinking, yeah, I guess I'm going to pass on this game again. I'm being pretty cautious, pretty careful, trying to make the right plays in MLB, and that has paid off over the last few days for me. So I don't know if I'm going to make a play on that one. And let's move on to the Texas-Detroit game. Bartolo Colon, unbelievable. What to make of Bartolo Colon? His last start, he did get hit pretty hard. I don't know. I'm thinking that once again, Detroit might be worth the play. Or I'm thinking maybe they might even once again be worth the play on the alternative run line, and maybe just a shot with the first 5 innings team total over. I know Kobe Valentine has reasons that he's actually liking Colon right now, saying that he throws strikes with movement. I don't know. I'm thinking that
I am not putting my money in putting my faith in my cash in any of these two guys. Yes, they're both pitching very well. These teams are both trash. Volatility skyrockets. I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. Game time 85 Fahrenheit. Wind blowing in will help these two guys. Beltre's back. Helps the Rangers. 3 hits, 2 RBIs in his return last night. Tigers now, they lost Cabrera, Alex Wilson, Zimmerman disabled this past week. Now they've lost Leonis Martin to hamstring injury. Liriano 3-1, 2.97 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. 14 appearances, 9 starts against the Rangers. Always pitched them well, 5-3, 4.03 ERA. Faced the Rangers 4 times last season, got lit up, 8.22 ERA. Has always pitched well enough in Globe Life Park, 4.11 ERA. And he's allowed 3 runs or fewer in each of his 6 starts, which is just shocking. Colon's pitching so well. 1-1, 3.29 ERA, 0.83 WHIP.
He did give up a bunch of homers in his last start, though, didn't he?
He did. He did, and his ERA is back to and it should continue to go up. How can I trust any of these guys? Tigers are hitting well. 254, 734, 259, 734 OPS. Rangers are hitting 238, 726 OPS for lefties. Kobe says I like Colon, but at this price, hell no.
Yeah, right. Just like yesterday.
Yeah, this is I just can't. I'm. Like we've been talking about, where it's not about quantity, it's about quality of picks, and I don't what's going to happen in this game with these 2 old timers on the mound. I have no idea. Dom Ricci says Colon will be a fade after 10 starts.
Not applicable says holding my nose, lean Texas. LOL. I'd be holding my nose and leaning Detroit here, and I might do the same thing as I did yesterday. I might do it. I just need to think about this for the. Oh wow. Whoa, holy shit. Look, Mark Lewis. Remember Mark Lewis?
Yes.
Guy who was a little bit of a hater, which is completely fine.
That's fine.
And absolutely fine. Check this shit out. We're winning hearts and minds, Jimmy the Bag. Mark Lewis. Loshak and Bag. Since Friday, my bankroll has been on the move in the positive side. Thanks, guys. Y'all deserve the credit.
That's wonderful, Mark. We want you to cash. We want our low baggers to cash.
Mark Lewis, I love you. You have even though I say it 15, 20 fucking times every show, you have no idea how much I love you. Thank you so much for that comment,
that means
Mark Lewis, and I'm really happy that your bankroll has seen a positive increase since Friday. Huge shout out to Mark Lewis.
Tolmore says I think Liriano's in a letdown spot off his great start against the weak KC start. I'd lean Texas, but not at this price. I'm with you. I would lean Tigers. I'm not going to do it. I don't think, at least. But what would you be getting on that Tigers line?
Well, the money line is, like yesterday, it's a huge underdog line. It's about in the plus 160s, and at Bet365, the alternative run line plus 290. So I might take a shot with that one as well. I'm thinking about this one. So it's interesting that people are really liking Colon here. They're saying that Reggie, shout out to Reggie. Reggie says nice. Colon is due. A lot of people are, Kobe Valentine. I like Colon, but at this price, hell no. It's amazing to me how many people are actually saying like, well, I like Colon, but not at this price. It's kind of surprising.
It is, I just these pitchers are not as good as their numbers are showing, and the last thing I want to do is Liriano's been so good this year, so I mean at least you're getting a nice dog line. Yeah. But I just don't feel comfortable backing Liriano, even though I would rather back Liriano than Colon right now. Yeah. And Mark 213 LA says, why is Detroit such a dog?
Well, I mean, the one reason is that historically Detroit has not done well against Texas. Texas has a great record long term against Detroit, and Detroit is admittedly just a shitty team here.
And they don't have Cabrera or Leonis Martin, and Martin's gone off to a great start this year.
All right, I'm going to do it one more time, folks. I'm going to do one more time. I'm going to take Detroit -1. Detroit -1. The money line part right now will be +165 at Bet Online, and the alternative run line part +290 at Bet 365. And I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to take Detroit -1. You know, Detroit's a shitty team. I don't trust Liriano. Cologne has had some impressive, performances this year. I don't know if I trust him. The line is headed up. I don't understand that, but I'm going to do it one more time, okay?
It was a huge success. I was very excited watching that big win for you yesterday. And Jay Peach says, this is going to be a huge under day in MLB. And then he says, mark my words.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple unders on the card too. But right where he's saying that, Marcus Colon says, Rockies, Angels over. The total is the best bet. But
all right. Well, we got 4 other day games. Why don't you just tell us out of those 4 games what official pick you want to give, Jim?
Yes, now this line has moved in the opposite direction of me, and violently. And I don't care. I'm doubling up. That's how much I don't care that the market is telling me it's going one way. I am taking the first 5 under and the full game under in the Pirates White Sox.
Okay.
I love the way Trevor Williams pitching. Also, you know, Pete's been talking about how it has been working for me to listen to interviews of these guys because, I feel like I can read people's energies and get like a social and emotional feel from some of these guys. And I love what Trevor Williams is saying about his pitching. He's not trying to do too much. He knows he only has a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. He knows he doesn't have a deadly slider. He's pitching just within himself, and it's working. I think Ronaldo Lopez is a pitcher that we want to back moving forward. So I'm doubling up on this game. The wind's blowing very strong sideways, which is not going to help big hits. White Sox 0-3 interleague play. Pirates 7-2. White Sox drop 4 straight, 8 of 9. Yolmer Sanchez is now sporting a 6-game hitting streak, 462, 12 for 26 over those 6 games. That helps a lot without Moncada and Garcia in the lineup. Williams 4-2, 2.63 ERA, 1.10 WHIP through 41 innings, 26 Ks, 18 walks. It doesn't bother me that the Ks and walk ratio is not good. I love the way he's pitching right now, and I expect him to continue to pitch well. He's 2-1 with a 2.28 ERA and 4 road starts. That to me says that he's sound. His head he's sound. It's the guys who go on the road and get lit up who aren't guys that you want to trust. This guy's got his shit together. Lopez 0-2, 2.43 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. You know his win-loss would be much better if he was playing on a better team. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer 5 times in his past 6 starts. Pirates 259, 744 OPS. White Sox rating 244, 728 OPS. I expect that to go down without Moncada and Garcia in the lineup. I'm doubling up on this under.
Without Moncada and Garcia in the lineup, I'm seeing Garcia is in the lineup.
Avasale?
Oh no! Oh, sorry about that. Oh, right. I'm sorry about that. I was okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about a shot with Pittsburgh here. It is interesting that the total has gotten bet up. You still want it? You're right. It opened at 9. It's now all the way up to 10. You want that one, Jim?
I want both. I can get a 5.5 on the first 5 under, and I can get the full game under 10. I want both.
Okay. The best line on under 10 on the full game is -110. And let's quickly check the first 5 innings for this White Sox game. 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. We can give you a -115, -115. Under 5.5, -115. And on this game, I was thinking Pittsburgh all the way here, maybe full game and second half. What do you think about that?
Well, that Nick Dial just says it right there. He says Pirates money line is low-hanging fruit today.
I don't know if it's low-hanging fruit, but I think it's probably a little bit of value there.
Here's Mark Lathrop. God, it's great to have Mark with us. Thank you for joining us, Mark. And all you guys, man, we have such great cappers that run with us. Mark says White Sox first 5 money line is my play on that game.
I was thinking about Pittsburgh on the second half, and I will definitely take that one. I will take Pittsburgh second half. It's going to be -125. Pittsburgh second half -125. That's at Bookmaker. And I was thinking about Pittsburgh on the full game as well. Mark Lathrop likes the first 5 innings, so I wonder if that means that he's low on Williams or high on Lopez.
Yeah, I'd be. Can we get some more info, Mark?
Yeah.
But I imagine that he's high on Lopez. Ad Hoc has a great comment here. He says Loshak vocab of the day yesterday was apropos.
Apropos,
and
yes. No.
Loshak's vocab word of the day so far is circumspect.
Yeah. Okay. Very, 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 very nice.
And then right below it is our friend Farouk Islam, who's joining us now. He's part of the low bag team. He likes Detroit, Texas over, Pitts, Chicago over, which is going.
Jim,
right
if I ever in any of these shows, if I ever say the phrase a priori. Just punch me. Just punch me in the face, okay? If I ever sit here and go, and we know this a priori, just punch me in the face. All right, Jim?
I'd prefer an open hand slap.
Okay, yes, that's fine. That's fine. I like to use pretentious words when they're appropriate. But if I ever say, and we know this a priori, just bam, sock me in the fucking face. All right, let's see.
Mark Lathrop is jumping in. He's sorry. He says, do you see the reverse line movement on the White Sox? Pittsburgh can't hit fastball change pitchers.
Okay, so that means that he's high on Lopez, and seems like he would be agreeing with you on vaguely agreeing with you. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but vaguely agreeing with you on the first 5 innings under. Seems like he's liking the White Sox because of Lopez partially.
Yeah, in NBA, I get very, very scared when late line movement moves against me. But here I'm going to trust my instincts and trust my captain.
All right, Jim's taking the first 5 innings under and the full game under. I'm taking Pittsburgh on the second half, -125. Mark Lathrop likes the White Sox on the first half on the money line. It's entirely possible we could all be on right sides here, and we could all cash. All right, 3 other games, Jim. Miami, Chicago, Angels, Colorado, Houston, Oakland. These are the day games, of course. Which one of those would you? We're going to cover them all. Well, which one would you like to do first, Jim?
I'd like to do the Marlins at Cubs first because we know I'm going to be taking the Coors Field fade below it. So Marlins at Cubs. Now, I wanted to take the Cubs team total over. I didn't want to take the full game over because I can't really figure out Quintana so far this year. I don't know when he's going to pitch lights out. I know he has the talent to, but I said fade Wei-Yin Chen on the road last start, and he got lit up immediately. I still think we should fade him on the road and maybe back him at home, but fade him on the road. Game time temp 79 Fahrenheit, wind blowing out strongly, 17 miles per hour. Cubs are attempting to finish off a sweep. They just placed Hayward on the 7-day concussion list. Baez will be back in the lineup today. Cubs have scored 18 runs in their past 2 games, although they just got 4 in that comeback last night. Chen 1-1, 4.82 ERA, 1.61 WHIP through 9 1/3, 5 Ks, 6 walks. He's allowed 3 home runs in 9 1/3, and I expect him to keep allowing home runs. I don't know what to make of Quintana this year. I just don't. So I'm just going to finish off a couple more stats, and I'd love to hear what you think of Quintana this year. Marlins are hitting 253, 719 OPS versus lefties. Cubs are hitting 235, 711 OPS versus lefties. And last, when they erupted for 14 runs, I was saying they're not hitting lefties well. A bunch of guys came in the chat and said they are going to smash lefties, and the guys in the chat were absolutely right. And
talking about the Cubs.
Talking about the Cubs. And Quintana, 3-2, 4.99 ERA, 1.53 WHIP. And Kobe says Quintana 10-2 at home since he came to Chicago. So okay, I could only get team total over 6.5 on Bet365.
I'm seeing at 6.5 at Pinnacle, but it is plus money. I will check Heritage for you. I was looking at this game. I was thinking that maybe this is a no-brainer play on overs, and I was thinking that that there might be a little bit of a slugfest here, and that Miami might actually be a play as a big underdog. Obviously you're right. It's been totally hot and cold for Quintana. Chen is a guy who I'm not too high on in general. So you have 2 iffy starting pitchers, and we might see a lot of volatility in this game, and take Miami on big underdog lines. What do you think about that?
I'm on the other side. I think Quintana gets confidence against this very weak lineup. Although they've hit lefties for a high average, lower OPS. If you're hitting 253, you'd expect a higher OPS than 719. A lot of these guys are on the Cubs. Not applicable Cubs. Jay Peach, Cubs full game under. Anthony McSherry says Cubs is the play. Oh, and the Queen has spoken.
No, really?
Early Cincinnati scoring first. Over hits, errors, and runs first inning, and Cincinnati first 5. I'm scared that I made a mistake by taking Cincinnati full game instead of first 5, but I'm not going to double up on that game. The Queen has spoken. The Oracle is here. We love having her. Tomor says Quintana got hammered last start. Think he bounces back. Lean Cubs run line. Not applicable says the Colorado the fade is over, and not applicable you are could be more wrong. Of course there's going to be losses in a row. This play was up 16 units last year, and it's going to be up again this year. So I just because it loses a couple games, man, feel free to jump off the wagon. Our wagon's fine and rolling smoothly. Quintana, Darryl Lyles has 2.25 ERA, 2-1 in the last 3. So you know what? I'm not going to take the over 6.5. I just don't feel comfortable with that play. I'll tell you what I will do though, and I know that my man Twatty Latte was even thinking of taking Cubs -3 on a huge super run line. I'm going to take the Cubs on the run line -1.5.
You are.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking about going the opposite way and taking a big shot with the Marlins. The Cubs on the run line, -1.5. Right now, we could give you 115 at U-Wager. Is that what you want, Jim?
Yes.
All right, Jim's going to take the Cubs run line -1.5, -115. That is the current line at U-Wager, -1.5, -115. The line does appear to be moving up market wide, though. Big money seems to be coming in, or not big money, but significant enough to move the line money coming in on the Cubs, even as a big favorite. Maybe let me check the lineups. Maybe someone is out for Miami. I don't know. This is an interesting matchup. I'm thinking that, I was leaning Miami here, and I was going to lean with maybe taking shots with Miami, and maybe even Miami on the first 5 innings team total overall. That one's 2.5. The full game is 4.5. I was thinking about the first 5 innings over, which you could still get a 6.
Yeah, I think that. Yes, I think the Marlins are playing beyond their capabilities, and that Quintana at home should be a confidence-building start.
Okay, all right. Let me just think about this for a second. And who was liking the under? Someone else was liking the under. It's obviously the wind's blowing out, so it's a high total here of 11. But I'm a little bit surprised that with these 2 starters, he's liking the under. So that means he's also thinking that Quintana is going to have one of his good starts, not one of his bad starts.
Yeah, it's not Joe D. He's on the over. It's Jay Peach. Jay Peach, great capper. He's on the under, and
Jay Peach.
And and then Kevin Case says the only thing I'm worried about under 11 is wind blowing out at 60 miles an hour. Yeah, I have 17 on my sheet.
Tom Marino expects a bounce back from Quintana.
Yeah, Isaac Mannion said, Jimmy, I woke up early to get on this just to tell you to never handicap any Toronto team.
All right, let me see. Kobe Valentine says Quintana is 10-2 at home since he came to Chicago. All right, a lot of people expecting a good start from Quintana.
Yeah, and I do too. I think this is a type of lineup you can get confidence in. I'm happy. I wanted to take the team total over. I was surprised that they were only hanging 6.5. So I'm happy to get Cubs -1.5, -115.
Okay. All right. So then let's move on to Angels and Colorado. Are you going to do the old -1.5 for the Angels once again today?
I am. I'm on the Coors Field fade again today. Greg Schneider will be at the game, our friend Greg Schneider, and we've been very successful when Greg has a seat at the game.
Very nice.
Game time temp, 76 Fahrenheit, wind blowing in softly. Rockies extended their season high winning streak to 6 games. Gray, another quality start. Rockies have won 9 of 12. Their starters have 1.55 ERA and 11 quality starts out of the 12. 9th straight quality start for the Rockies. I don't know what Barry is going to give us, but this is, interestingly, the first time that he has stayed with the Angels between starts. And I like that. I think they're going to have great coaching there. I'm sure Scotia's got great team surrounding Barria to help him with his pitching and help him between starts. He'd been shuttled back and forth to Salt Lake before this. Anderson, 3.78 ERA, 1.32 whip. Angels are hitting 245, 721 OPS versus lefties. Rockies are still hitting poorly, 228, 700 OPS. Joe D is on the under. And not applicable is who is against the Coors Field fade, says Angels going in a slump. Melee Payless Wade likes Angels. And Rich Banks is on the Coors Field fade for the remainder of the season. So we got, and Jansen Bonson on the Coors Field fade. And Freddie Richard respecting my Bucks hat.
All right. Jimmy the Bagel, you're going to get the Angels -1.5 plus 215. This one, I'm not too high on Barria here, and Anderson looks pretty good. But I think later in the game, the Angels should have a better an edge here. Interestingly, despite the fact that Colorado arguably has a bit of a better bullpen than the Angels have been great second half on the road, and Colorado has been terrible second half at home. I'm taking the Angels here on the second half -115. Angels second half -115. I would be vaguely agreeing with you on the Coors Field fade this time out. We're going to need a decent start from Barry because I think Anderson's going to be okay here.
I think Anderson's going to be okay here.
Yeah.
It's not applicables, right? I mean, this Angels team is not hitting the way they were.
Right.
But I think that when you're getting these juicy lines, all you need to do is win one game of the series, and you're good.
Yeah. Okay, let me think. And I have to make a final decision here on taking the Mets on the second half at -125. That game goes off in 2 minutes. I'm definitely leaning that way. Jim took Cincinnati on the money line, full game. Once again, you're high on Cincinnati right now, and you're not high on the Mets, right?
Exactly, and I think we can be ahead of the market making money off Cincinnati. Kevin K, just back to this, says Angels hit lefties much better than Rockies hit righties. Al Mack big on the Angels today. And Jansen Bonds says, Jimmy Direct, my uncle wanted me to say thank you for your justified pick in the Derby. You made $210 on a $6 bet.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. All right, you know what I will do? I'm going to go on the Angels -1 with you. I'm going to double up on this one. I'm going to take Angels second half -125. I'm going to take Angels just -1 though. Just -1 though. The money line part of that will be +125, and again the run line part of that will be +215. So Jim's taking Angels -1.5 at +215. I'm taking the Angels -1, and I'm also taking the Angels on the second half at -115. All right, now we have Houston and Oakland. Very interesting here. Obviously, Houston has been rolling in this series. I've been on Houston. I had them second half yesterday, and they cashed again. Garrett Cole has been absolutely lights out this season. Mengden has been okay though. Holding his own for the most part, and now you're getting a huge underdog line here. Tempting as hell to take Oakland here, although the line has gotten bet up.
Very tempting, and I don't think I'm going to do it.
No?
Mengden got lit up in front of his friends and family in Houston. He's been very bad at home in his career, but the guys love him in the clubhouse. He loves where this team is going, and I like him. There's some other things going on in this game that I think will help the Athletics, and that is Piscotty. So first off, game time temp 63 Fahrenheit, wind blowing out strongly 12, and it gets up to 17 by the end of the game. Astros are going for this sweep. Now, Piscotty elected to play less than 48 hours after his mother, Gretchen, passed away. She's from Oakland. They're from Oakland. So he went to Stanford, and he was dealt from St. Louis because he wanted to be there with his mom. She's suffering from ALS. So he's going to stay behind and go on the bereavement list after he leaves, but he wants to play. And I know a lot of athletes that it helps them grieve if they can just kind of keep normal and stay in their routine and stay with their teams. And I have a feeling that him in the clubhouse is going to do real good things for this team. Now, Cole is also a California dude, UCLA product, and he's gone 8-2 in his starts in San Diego, Anaheim, LA, and San Francisco in his 6 seasons in the majors. He's never pitched in Oakland, although he's made 2 starts against the A's, going 0-1, 3.29 ERA. He's got a lot of stuff with the Bay Area. He is married to what's his name? The shortstop of the Giants, his sister. Cole's 3-1 with a 1.42 ERA, 0.69 WHIP. He's been incredible. 77 Ks in 50 2/3. I'm going to stay off of this game. I think that Garrett Cole's pitching way above his head. He's an incredible pitcher, and I like Mengden a lot, and I like what's going on with Piscotty, and I don't want that to interfere with my capping, and I feel like it is already. Even talking about it, I feel like I'm getting a tiny bit emotional, and I don't want that to get involved in my capping.
Sure. I'm just thinking that, as you say, Jim, my advice to Jim and to the entire community on the chat box is when it comes to handicapping, be a sociopath. Be a sociopath. Ice in your veins, Jim.
I hear that. Zero
empathy.
I hear that, and I try to do that.
Yes.
I try my best to do that. And Mark Lathrop says, my mom has ALS too. And guess what? She wants me to win money, so he's taking Houston on the run line.
Yeah, okay. He likes Houston on the run line. I'm just feeling like it is a very high line here. I'm not exactly sure what to make of it, but a lot of interesting comments that are coming in. Mark Lathrop, God, I love Mark Lathrop's friggin' comments. He says he seems like I think he's leaning Angels here. He's also on the under on that Angels game. He seems to be liking the Kevy K says Angels hit lefties much better than there we are. Angels hit back to the Angels. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Mark Lathrop, do you know what the Angels do to fastballs between 90 and 92 miles per hour? They crush them. Man, Mark Lathrop does that is called research.
It's great to have
that is called research right there.
Thank you for joining our chat, Mark. You're a huge asset.
Yeah, man, this is Kevy K says Springer's seeing the ball quite well. Yeah, this is a tough one. Tomarino, I lean Oakland on the money line, but I'm on the over. I don't think Mengden is good enough to hold up here. Interesting that he's on the over.
Yeah, I like Mark's play. I get it, and but I just just want to give energy and love from Loshak to your mom, Mark.
Absolutely,
we love you, and she raised a great son. She must be a great woman.
Yes, absolutely. I second that, third that, fourth that, fifth that. All right, so let me see. The 12:30 game is already off, so I won't be able to give any of my leans, but I did see that Jay Peach made the under in the Mets game at 10, an official pick. I was leaning under as well on the overnight line when I handicapped it, and interesting that the line has gotten bet up. So far, the official picks we have given, Jim has given the Angels -1.5, Cincinnati money line, Cleveland team total over 4.5, Cubs run line -1.5, White Sox first half under 5.5, and the full game under 10. My picks, I did take a shot with Detroit -1 as a big underdog. Also the Angels -1. I'm doing the Coors Field fade, taking them just -1. I took Pittsburgh second half -125, Angels second half -115. My leans would have been to the under in the Mets game and the Mets on the second half, but that game is already off. Let's see, other leans that I would have had, leaning Oakland at this huge home underdog line, and leaning like first 5 innings over 6 in the Miami Cubs game, and maybe even thinking about taking a Miami team total overs, although everyone seems to be pretty high on Quintana today, so I will hold off on that one, and a lean to Pittsburgh on the full game as well, but I just took them on the second half as an official pick, and I guess that's about it for the day games in MLB.
Yes, that's about it. I have 2 leans and 2 plays that I've already bet and need to make on the late games. And for time, how do you want to handle it? Do you want to break through some of these games, or just the ones I've got picks on, or what do you prefer?
The late games. Well, let's. Why don't we quickly go? You want to go to the Twitter segment, and then we'll bounce right back to the night games. Give whatever you want, and then we'll quickly touch on the NBA segment, and then we will just one game tonight, and then we will. We'll wrap the show up. Apparently, we do have one tweet. Once again, if you want your tweet addressed live on air and it gets chosen, tweet at SBR Sports Picks and use the hashtag #GetThatCash. Right, Jim?
That's right.
All right. This is Barkerman. Is that the tweet, Johan?
Oh, nice.
Barkerman. Shout out to Barkerman. Says, "Yo, Jimmy and Peter. Que pasa, amigos?" I have no idea what the fuck that means. What app do you recommend to be able to open pages like Bet365 if you are in another country different from the USA, or are you... Next one. Or are
you? Do you want to just guess? What are you? Oh.
In South America? What apps do we use? I'm not a big app guy. I use laptops for all my betting stuff. So I actually I don't do a lot of handicapping or betting on my cell phones. When I'm doing that stuff, I'm using a laptop for a bunch of reasons. I don't know. Can you answer that, Jim?
Well, Barkerman, whom we love, he's in Venezuela, and I think that. That I almost want to plead the fifth with some of these answers, because we don't want to be, saying publicly things that may or may not be considered legal.
Yes, or true.
But Danksy's, let's let Danksy's do it. Danksy says, use a VPN if you're in another country to access the country's sites. Now, that's right. And then, but then you would need... I believe now. I'm really bad with technology, but I believe you'd need a laptop to do that. You can't do that with an app. Can you?
No, you can have a VPN on an app. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so just get a VPN. Easy. That's what Danksy says.
But basically, so my answer to your question is Barkerman is I have no fucking idea, no clue. Clueless over here. Cannot answer your question, Barkerman.
And I guess we are pronouncing that wrong. It should be pronounced Barsaman.
Barsaman, yes.
Barsaman, because I've been making that mistake too. So Barsaman. Yeah, I would just listen to Danksy's here on the chat. And Jansen Bonson says there's no Fifth Amendment in Costa Rica.
Right. All right. So let's go back to MLB on the night games, Jim. As I said, once again, I did not handicap any of these night games enough to make any kind of pick or give any kind of opinion. I will do that in the 6 o'clock show. We will be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Jimmy the Bag, what do you have to say about any of these night games?
Well, why don't I'd like to talk about the Red Sox-Yankees game. If we could just go over maybe, let's say, 4 of them, and then leave the last 3 I'm going to do a little more work on. So let's the plays that I'm doubling up on. I'm doubling up again on the Mariners. I think Jaime Garcia is bad, and I've often felt this. And he's one of those pitchers who actually has got me a few times, because he's almost an auto fade for me. And when the Jays picked him up, I didn't understand why they did. He throws so soft. He looks so easy for me for anyone to hit. And then this Mariners team are smashing lefties, 259 with a 740 OPS. And then this Jays team isn't hitting lefties at all. And the Jays team has a whole bunch of shit going on now because of that fucking idiot Roberto Osuna. Blue Jays, and I shouldn't say idiots. I don't know exactly what is happening, so I'm not the judge and jury. So I take that back. I apologize. Blue Jays are hitting 221 with a 674 OPS versus lefties. LeBlanc is very hittable. But, I don't know what to make of LeBlanc. I need to see more of LeBlanc. 3.57 ERA, 1.30 whip. But I just think Jaime Garcia is trash. He's allowed 8 home runs in 30 innings. He's in the wrong ballpark if he wants to pitch the way he pitches, because he'll get knocked all over the place. This is a hitter's park. And so I'm not only am I on the Mariners, but I don't trust and Mark Lathrop, I'm on the Mariners, low-hanging fruit.
Wow.
I agree totally. I think Jaime Garcia is trash. Not only am I on the Mariners, I don't know how good Wade LeBlanc is.
God, how awesome has it been to have Mark Lathrop so active in today's comment section?
It's great. It's a huge
Thank you,
help.
Mark Lathrop.
Yeah.
I've met him once, actually. Really nice guy.
Yeah. I got to meet him, too. It was a treat.
Okay, go on.
Brandon Cummings, funny. So I'm on. Not only am I on the Mariners full game, but I'm on the over, and the Jays are a slight favorite. I hope they still are, and I just think that I'm gonna make money here.
All right, so you want Seattle and the full game over?
Yes.
All right, the best line for Seattle right now at Pinnacle, plus 114. Is that okay for you?
I love it.
Plus 114, and the over, let me just find it. Seattle and Toronto over will be 9.99 minus 119 we can give you. Seattle over 9 minus 119, current line at Bookmaker.
I'll take it.
Okay. Any other games from the late show, from late games that you want?
No, I just got 2 leans here, and I wanted to talk them out and decide whether I should make them as plays. I have a lean.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to give you 9 minus 120. Just it's
no
not
problem.
minus 119. Just SBR odds was slow. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
No problem. Let me type that in.
120. Yeah.
I have 2 leans. I have a lean to the over in the Royals at Orioles, but I'm not. I think that the recency of what happened yesterday, cashing that over in the first inning for all of us was fucking great. Great way to get the day started. Game time temp 76 Fahrenheit, wind blowing out 7 miles per hour. Kansas City entered the series ranked 28th in Major League with 29 homers, 34 games. They hit 4 in the first inning, 5 overall. That feels good. This is a team that needs to feel good. Now, their manager has always been saying the right things, and he's filling them with confidence blindly. But that's got to feel good for the team. Today they'll face Andrew Kashner, who's already allowed 9 homers in 38 2/3. Orioles have lost 7 straight. And the Orioles get Scope back from the disabled list. Skoglund not look good this year. And the Orioles are hitting lefties okay. 239, 722 OPS, 6.84 ERA, 1.41 whip. Kashner, 1-4, 4.89 ERA, 1.53 whip. And Kevin K says that's my only over, Jimmy. Let's see if anybody else is on it. No, they're still talking about Seattle and over. Casey lean. I'm not going to make that a play yet. Unless what do you think of that?
Which one?
You haven't fully capped the Royals Orioles. That's going to be a lean that I'm going to study a little more. I just don't want a recency bias to just make me blindly make that bet. And that's what I feel like is happening. So I'm going to stop myself.
Okay.
Kevin K says still lean Royals. Love the line you get. Brandon Cummings says, I like the Royals on the run line, just like I said yesterday, and you guys blew me off. Brandon Cummings, did we blow him off?
I don't remember that. Wait, where? No, I love Brandon Cummings. When a guy works in a friggin' ER, really actually helps people with his job. Absolutely, he liked the Royals on the run line, just like I said yesterday. Was that the game against Baltimore?
Yeah.
He liked on the alternative run line. Sorry, Brandon Cummings, I did not catch that one, and that is an awesome call because I was on that was the Bundy game, right?
Yeah.
Friggin' awesome call. I certainly didn't see that one coming. I thought Bundy was going to have a bounce back start, and he sure as hell didn't. Awesome call, Brandon Cummings, on that one. Wow.
Yeah, so that's a lean that I'm going to look forward hit a little harder in the afternoon before I make that play because I just don't, obviously I've explained that. So then my second lean that I will talk with you guys about is the Victoria boy, the Canadian kid, the BC boy, Nick Pivetta has not looked good all of a sudden. And that could have been expected. I don't know what we think of him moving forward. I don't know. What do you think of Nick Pivetta moving forward?
I'm gonna have to look into my numbers and my research offhand. He's a guy who in general I think is gonna get hit a bit.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And I've been vocally not believing in Stratton, and he had that one incredible start, and That's, I mean, 3-2, 3.99 ERA, 1.23 WHIP. Phillies have hit 7 home runs in the first 2 games of this series. I think they could get to Stratton. Pavetta's 1-2, 4.76 ERA, 1.32 WHIP. Pavetta allowed 6 runs on 5 hits, 3 walks, and 1 inning. 1 inning against Nationals last Friday. So is this a bounce back spot for him? He's allowed 11 hits and 6 walks over his last 2 starts. His ERA has gone from 2.57 up to 4.76. At home, he's got a 3 ERA. So that's one thing that kind of makes me want to slow down a little bit. On the road, it's a 9 ERA. So I have a lean to the over, and that is another play that I'm not going to make yet, and I wanted to hear what everybody had to say about it. Back to that last over, and Philip Cantillon says Baltimore pitching is atrocious, and Triple Bean says O's going to stack righties against Skoglund. Got Scope back, but Royals playing with complete freedom right now. And then back to this. Pavetta has good stuff, says Tomor. Great velocity, but young and inconsistent. I'd lead into fading him here. So those are, and Jose Ng is on the Giants over. So those are 2 leans that I wanted to hear what people have to say, and I'm going to put more time into it. And Stephen Chamberlain says, guys, a trash bag. Giants are the easy play. And Maxwell Smart says, Pavetta tried to grab a dude's ass and got punched in the nose. That's new inside information I didn't know about.
Wait, who got punched in the nose?
Maxwell Smart says Pavetta tried to grab a dude's ass and got punched in the nose.
Is that true?
I have no idea.
Is that true, or is that just a funny comment that's ironic?
No,
that doesn't sound. That sounds like it's true. That sounds like. I'm sorry. I was just looking at another positive comment. You know how these positive comments take over my brain. Jay Yim says, "Wah! Cannot stress how great you guys are. Also love Celtics today. Thank you so much, nice. Jay Yim." And we are going to get to NBA in the last few minutes of this show. Just one game today, but we are definitely going to discuss it.
Yeah, and Brandon Cummings says, sorry to interrupt, says, yes, says Yellow Jesus, I'm a Phillies fan, talking to Yellow Jesus who blesses our picks. I'm a Phillies fan. Take the Giants today. Fade my Phillies today.
And Kevy K, great comments as always, says, guys, don't leave money on the table. The Diamondbacks are the most profitable team to bet on, especially as a dog. Take the Diamondbacks. Alternative run line. Dodgers can't hit lefties. Corbin will roll.
Yeah, that's another game I need to spend a little bit more time on. And then the one game I do want to touch on before we move on to NBA, if it's okay with you guys, is and Scotty Rock says, shout out mine and Sandercock's bets. What is the bet? Can you, Scotty, sorry, a little overwhelmed here. If you could let us know what the bet is, I'd love to.
And Brendan Cummings says, you'll rarely hear me say this, and then switches to all caps, fade my Phillies today versus Stratton. Okay, I will keep that in mind when I am breaking down that game, which I have not done yet. Once again, I will personally get to the evening games tonight in the evening show, which will go at 6 o'clock Eastern time. What were the picks that they wanted to get shouted out?
They're making a bet. They're having a bet with each other, so I'd love to hear it. So So Scotty, hit us with that bet. We'd love that. And Yellow Jesus giving the game 6-3 Giants. Oh, Scotty Rock says $100 on the Dubs. He's got the Rockets.
And Mark Lathrop, just contributing everything to this show, right now says he's Googling Pavetta ass grabbing. So Mark Lathrop will presumably have some insight into that episode in a few seconds. Mark Lathrop, thank you so much. You're doing us a solid here, Mark Lathrop, for doing that. Thank you so much, Mark Lathrop. Googling Pavetta ass grabbing as we speak. Thank you, Mark Lathrop. Yes.
So Scotty Rock and Jay Sandercock betting, and you guys know that I did hedge with the Warriors, but I would prefer the Rockets to win. So I just wanted to get an idea of what people are thinking about this Red Sox-Yankees game. I'm going to put a little more work into it, and then I'm comfortable moving forward. Game time, 1069 Fahrenheit, wind blowing in, 8 miles per hour. Yankees have won 16 of 17. The Yankees are playing incredibly well. Had the treat of being at the bar watching both games, the basketball game and the baseball game simultaneously yesterday. It was a wonderful. During this streak, Yankees have outscored opponents 101-39, 50 runs scoring in the 7th inning or later. And after that 17-2 start, the Red Sox have just gone 8-8. Porcello. Am I always screwing it up? How do you pronounce Porcello? Do you hit the ch or do you hit the s?
No, it's Porcello.
Porcello. Okay, good. 5-0, 2.14 ERA, 0.82 WHIP through 46 in the third, 46 Ks, 5 walks. I am so proud that Porcello is having this kind of a season after the atrocity that happened last year. He's won his last 7 decisions since September 10th. He beat the Yankees April 12th at Fenway Park. He allowed 2 hits and 7 scoreless innings. He looked awesome. He threw 33 two-seam fastballs, 32 sliders. He knew what to do to get through this lineup. 9-8 with a 3.09 ERA, 19 career starts against the Yankees. And Tanaka is just someone I have difficulty trusting. I have difficulty putting my money on him. 4.04 ERA and 15 career starts against the Red Sox. 4.39 ERA, 1.00 WHIP. 42 Ks in 41 innings. And he's 2-0 with a 2.41 ERA in his last 3 starts against the Red Sox. So Red Sox hitting 268, 787 OPS. Yankees hitting 249, 780 OPS. And I don't know exactly what to do here. Jose Yang says Porcello rolls tonight. Tanaka has been horrible. And then Not Applicable says New York Yankees Porcello due to lose. Jace Gum, great. I love when Jace joins us, says take the Red Sox to cool off the Yanks at that plus price. What is the plus price?
The plus price on that game is +1 in the 120s. Well, actually, Greek has 131.
Greek has 131.
And you wager 131.
Wow. Justin Searcy leading Red Sox. And Jose Yang says Yankees under 8.5 is the play. And CC Fitness says Red Sox is the play for me. So, yeah. So I'm going to need a little bit more time on this. But it feels like people like Porcello at the plus line.
Okay, sounds good. So Jim has just added 2 plays: Seattle money line +114 and Seattle over at 9 -120, right? And we'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time, where we'll look at all the line moves from the early games, and I will give some picks and analysis from the night games, and Jimmy the Bag will break them down a lot more, and we'll give some more picks. We'll cover the night games in depth at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Same great channel here at SBR Sports Picks. What there's some funny shit going on?
Well, this is our second bet that's being done with Cappers on our low bag show, right? So the second bet that we're talking about, that's verified with everyone. And the first bet did not go well because King Grail bet Christopher Kelly. Christopher Kelly lost and is gone.
Is that true?
That is true. He's not come back since Chris Kelly lost the bet.
Oh no, that's not good. We don't want to be losing people because of that. That's let's just have like pride bets so that people aren't afraid to come back.
No, man, no. I like the actual.
But we can't have people just ditching the show for $100. That's Jimmy the Bag, and ratings will go down and we'll get fired, Jim. All right, let's move on to Gabriel Rodriguez is in the house. Don't think I'm not noticing you, Gabriel Rodriguez. We got to move on to NBA. Just one game today. It is the game 5 in Philly and Boston, and obviously the Celtics are up 3 games to 2 and looking great. What's likely to happen here? Not exactly sure. But the first 2 games at Boston, of course, Boston was getting a bunch of points, right? 4.5, 3.5. Now this one I believe opened at 1, or no, actually I'm seeing opened at 1.5, and Boston's now the favorite. They're now -1 or 1.5. I was thinking about overs here. I was thinking about maybe Boston team totals overs here. Again, I passed on the NBA games last night, and in retrospect, I think that was a smart thing to do. They were just very, very tight lines. The Utah team total went right close to where it was. The spreads on both of the games, were within a couple of points. In retrospect, maybe the best thing to do was to pass, which I did. What's your take on tonight's game? Boston at Celtics. Once again, I'm thinking about overs, and I'm thinking about Boston team total overs.
Sorry, it's funny stuff coming up here. Okay. Yes, I'm making a simple play to me. I find this, and maybe I'm simplifying it too much, and we'll come back tomorrow and see. But I'm making a simple bet here. I locked it in this morning and tagged you and made it official because I thought the line would go away from me. So just letting you guys know straight up, I'm on Celtics -1. Okay. And I don't like seeing King Rail against me. And I do think that the Sixers are obviously a very dangerous team. But the reason that I'm taking Celtics -1 is just simplifying everything. We know no team in NBA history has come back from 3-0. They're 0-129. The Celtics are 36-0 all time when taking a 2-0 lead in the series. Sixers franchise is 0-14 when being down 2-0. The Celtics are 6-0 at home in the playoffs. Just that alone, okay? That alone, for starters, makes me think the Celtics are going to finish off this series here. Now, yes, the Sixers added TJ McConnell. I've been a huge fan of his all year. I've been pumping him up all year. Add him to the starting lineup. He was a big spark. 19 points, 8 boards, 5 assists was a +18. The beauty of Brad Stevens is that he will come up with a game plan for him. He's a better coach than Brett over there on the Sixers sideline. So that's great. So it worked great. Stevens is going to come up with a way to defend that. Now, the Sixers got 16 offensive rebounds while the Celtics got 6. That's always going to hurt the Celtics. Shane Larkin hurt his left shoulder and is questionable. That's going to hurt the Celtics. But Jason Tatum just became the first Celtic to notch 6 straight 20-point-plus games in the playoffs since Paul Pierce. I just think that I'm simplifying this And I'm taking the Celtics to finish.
All right,
series.
so you tweeted it out. What line do you get on the tweet?
I got -1 at -107, thanks to our friends at the Greek.
Okay, -1, -107, and actually, if we were doing it right now, you could have a -1, -104 at Pinnacle, but a bunch of other places are all the way up to a 105. So interestingly, not surprisingly, market a little bit uncertain as to what to do with this spread right now. Pinnacle appears to be leaning in favor of Philly at the current lines. Other places like Heritage and BetOnline are up at 1.5. They're leaning pretty clearly towards Boston. Not at all surprised that we're seeing market uncertainty here, Jim.
Yeah, and it was actually when before we walked in here, about 15 minutes before the show, I couldn't get a -1 anymore. So
bouncing back and forth a little bit, which I do think we'll see up until game time. It'll be very interesting to see what this line is at 6 o'clock Eastern time when we do our show, second show of the day. My guess is, and this is based on just a hunch, my guess is probably there'll be money coming in on Philly. That's just my guess.
I get it.
Yeah.
And William Speaker like 76ers first half and under 204.5. Now, a very interesting point is Brandon Cummings says if Sixers win this shit, we'll go 7 games. Yes, that's why I'm taking the Celtics here. It's because they're at home. Now, Swiatek makes a great point. Sixers down 3-1, and they're only plus 350 to win the series. If there was a team that's capable of coming back from 3-0, you would say it'd be this series. I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah. I just
look at the teams that have come before us, and I'm just saying that thinking it won't happen. 2016 NBA Finals is this from Swiatek too. Were plus the Cavs were plus 1100 when they were down 3-1. And Tomor says exactly what I just said, except using the home and road things, which I didn't even get to because Celtics 27-14 at home during the regular season. Sixers were just 22-19 on the road. Tomor says Philadelphia was a much better team at home all year. Boston's been better at home, too, since the Irving injury. I think Stevens will figure out Philly's new lineup with McConnell.
And here comes some MLB picks from Native Queen on the Cleveland game that goes off in 10 minutes. Cleveland to score first and the full game under. Native Queen liking Cleveland to score first. Not a surprise there because of Guerra against Carrasco. And interestingly, Native Queen also likes, though, the full game under. So she doesn't expect Guerra to get rocked here. I had a vague lean to the under as well, but I'm not going to go on that one. Native Queen liking Cleveland to score first and the full game under. I like that Cleveland to score first line, even though I'm sure that will be a pretty high favorite line. Nice. Thank you so much, Native Queen, liking Cleveland to score first. I'm just going to quickly check what that line is right now. All right, no play for me on the Boston-Philly game as of right now. Jim is going to take Boston -1, -107. I can certainly understand why he would like that one.
A lot of guys are saying this, and I'm curious to hear what you have to say about this. And Ski Prophet is not the first one to say this, but he's just the last one. So Ski Prophet says, only thing that has me nervous about Celtics tonight is that no NBA games are scheduled till the 14th. Maybe the NBA wants another game.
Yeah. Yes. The NBA gets what it wants, as we know. And Cleveland to score first, -200 right now at Pinnacle, but still a play that Native Queen says she's liking, as well as the under in the full game on that one. Huge shout out to Native Queen just for being who she is every day and every year of her life.
We love her.
Nice shout out, right, Jim?
Absolutely.
Getting back to what the NBA wants. I think that I keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Consciously, subconsciously, the NBA does want things, tends to get what it wants. Not always, right? NBA would have loved, did the NBA want a sweep of Toronto? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
Probably not. Still, it's an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah, it is. I hate thinking about these things. It makes me so uncomfortable.
I mean, it's just like it's conscious and subconscious sometimes. You know what I mean? Maybe the players want it. The players love drama too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what? The Celtics need to finish this series off right now. They know that. If the Sixers win another game, they're in big trouble.
Okay. Any other comments before we wrap this show up?
Donald Trump says Brad Stevens, their home crowd is just insane. They're going to adjust to McConnell. Covington is playing subpar D and generally. Sixers lack the experience to come back from that.
Jay Peach says Celtics is the play. I was thinking about, if not the Celtics on the spread, just the Celtics team total overs or first half team total overs.
King Rail says 76ers will win the series.
Wow.
We'll go to 7.
Oh, okay. We'll win. Wow.
The
really?
NBA wants LeBron to get some rest. And the longer the NBA is on, TV, more money. More money. And Jace Gum, says, I'm on the Celtics, but it wouldn't shock me if the Sixers won. They're desperate, and I think they'll bring it tonight.
Native Queen says, at Jimmy the Bag, tell Pete I got minus 185 at Heritage. Nice job, Native Queen. That's what we call line shopping in the business, and it is essential. And, of course, for someone like Native Queen, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer thing to do. You have to line shop when you're getting lines like that, especially with derivatives, which don't have as market sharpened lines as the regular sides and totals. Derivatives and futures, as we've seen, can have discrepancies, significant 15-cent discrepancies, as we are just seeing here. Good job, Native Queen, getting minus 185 at Heritage. All right. Anything else?
No, I just, God, it feels so good. I mean, part of it is, we're winning and I'm sleeping.
Yes.
So that does feel good. But, man, it's just a treat to run with all these incredible cappers and to get their insights. And I know I'm up plus 11.4 units because I sit beside the legend Loshak and I work with this chat. I know that's the case. And I expect to keep climbing. And there was one question if there was a play that we like more than others, if there's a play of the day or something that we're most confident in. And when I go through my action.
First, I want to address just one comment from Brandon Cummings. Brandon Cummings says, all sports rigged besides baseball and hockey. There you go. All sports rigged. How about that, Jim? All sports rigged, not just NBA. How about that? You disagree with it? You don't think about that?
It's not that I disagree with it. I don't want that to infect me and infect the decisions that I make, and I understand that there's traps, and I get that maybe it's ignorant of me to say that, and we will be talking more about this stuff as this show progresses.
Yes. And Rich Banks says, I think rigged is the wrong word, which is an interesting comment, and there is probably a much finer set of points that you should put on this topic, that you could put on this topic to discuss it in a serious manner. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People just like to use rigged because 6 letters, 1 word, bam, you've made your point. You know what I'm saying? And it's a little bit, of a broad brush you're painting everything with. But all right, so let's move on. Jimmy the Bag, let's wrap this show up. Anything else you want to discuss before we wrap it up?
No, I'm excited. So the Preakness is not this weekend, but next weekend. And there's a lot of stuff. A lot of the horses that ran the Derby, they need a few days to see how much they're eating and just to make sure that they're sound to move forward. So we're not going to be doing any Preakness analysis till next week.
That's great. All right, let's wrap the show up. We will be back with all doing all the same thing all over again, and with special emphasis on the evening games in MLB at 6 o'clock Eastern time today. Thank you so much. We'll see you then.